Hello, everybody. This is Eager Vision here with another episode of Imperator Rome. This is part 3 of our series. So far, we have expanded Rome quite a bit, but we have not united the peninsula. That is one of our short-term goals here. We may do that this episode or next, so stay tuned. Last episode, we actually took out Epirus, I believe it was, and that's how we got some Greek lands as well. So we're only in 292 BC, and I'm looking forward to getting started in this episode. Some things to keep in mind is the Diadochi over here. Alexander the Great's successors are at war. So you have the Seleucids, Thrace, Macedon, Egypt. They're all in a battle royale at the moment. Looks like the Seleucids are the most powerful out of them, and if you look at the leaderboard, they actually put Egypt on top, so I was wrong. But that makes sense since Egypt's expanded all the way up across the Middle East. So over here, our main issue is the southeast part of our peninsula. We want to unite them. And then, of course, the Etruscans and the Umbrians are going to be a threat as well. And we need to expand up there. So I'm going to have Cassius Belli's on them if I don't already. Let's see. Rome has a so we already can declare war on, I believe, some of these states. Yeah, so that might be what we do after we load up our manpower. Carthage is a threat as well, so stay tuned for them to keep expanding. And we will go ahead and start the clock. Looking here. We have this guy that's not loyal to us. He's the governor of Greece over here. So we might as well bribe him. I mean, I understand he's not loyal and bribing is just going to add corruption, but it's worth it to us, I believe. We are currently not at war with anybody. We are in an alliance with Hipponian. And Hipponian's down here. We needed their help to, or not necessarily needed their help, but we decided to utilize their help in taking out Brutia. I was surprised I took them out so quickly, but that's how it goes. We actually use the deity of war, Mars, as our religion. Forget what they call it, an omen, that's what they call it. And that helped us as well. It says we have too many relations, so we might as well drop that alliance. That way we don't take any damage to, I think that was our political influence. Our stability could be up a little bit more, so I'm going to, even though it's increasing, I'm going to speed that up. I believe I go to, if you go to religion, you can perform a divine sacrifice. That gives you a boost in your stability. It does cost some political influence, but it will pay off. Now we're up to 0.26. I think that's monthly, and that's going to go up quite a bit now towards 50. Our first event. Since Romulus founded our great city, its citizens have been divided into the tribes. Originally, it was an ethnic distinction, but since the Republic was formed, the tribes have been divisions of eligible citizens whose local consensus is submitted as a vote in the tribal assembly in Rome. The number of tribes has fluctuated throughout our history, beginning with merely 3. There are now over 30, added or redrawn as our state has grown. So basically, we can expand the tribes, or we have enough tribes. And I think we expand the tribes. I mean, we're going to keep growing. Eventually, I want this whole peninsula to be as Roman as the city of Rome. And then the barbarians can, be their own thing. But for now, that's our focus. We're trying to assimilate everybody. We are in 3rd place. Egypt is looking pretty tanky, honestly. So we need to be mindful of that. So the Macedonian threat. Our landfall in Greece has raised the eyebrows of many of the kingdoms and successors splintered from the ruination of Alexander's great empire. The region of Macedonia, populated by the proud ancestors of Philip and Alexander, poses a significant threat to Rome and and to the liberty of the numerous cities in our shared spheres of influence. Gods themselves augur well for our continued involvement in Macedonia. We must put an end to any interference in our expansion. We get a claim on their territories now. That's hype. Love to hear that. So we could declare war on Macedon if we really wanted to. I'm gonna save that because we need to keep building this up. I'm gonna build it. Our maximum is 16,000 right now, so I'm gonna build it to at least 10, and then we're gonna take out the Etruscans. I think is my next move. One thing I could do is after I unify this peninsula, maybe I run up this coastline, or maybe I just go straight across. Who knows? Maybe I do this. I don't know. Put in the comments what you think I should do. Honestly, we are way ahead of schedule by having land over here anyway. Alright, time to slow it down. I skipped ahead a little bit so that we could get to action. It was a dead period there for a little bit. Country civilization level went up to plus 0.5%. And we get a free innovation, in which I'm going to make it a martial advance. Let's see here. Discipline, fort defense, siege engineers. I'm going to do this one, military artisans. That gives us a military provincial investment cost of minus 10%. That'll help us in the long run. And really, oh, that's another thing. Crassus has passed away. He was 81. He was a researcher, so we need to assign a researcher. The only thing you really missed was a bunch of trade requests that I declined. Okay, the populares have been convinced that Publius Sempronius Sophus is abusing his position for personal gain. A story pushed by Lucius. Now that they are demanding his immediate return to Rome. And Publius is our governor of Magna Graecia, as you can see. Magna Graecia is those where Greek was the main language, but still on the Roman Peninsula, from my understanding. So he's governing those provinces. So basically, we could send a messenger. No longer a governor at that point. Or he's just doing his job and we use our consul veto. So let's send a messenger. And we have some spots to fill. And I'm going to hopefully be able to do this quickly because a lot of things are popping up. So I'm just going to give this guy the job. He's got the most researcher abilities with the 10 as a stat. We need a new governor because that guy was corrupt. This is the same guy. We could just put him right back into power and dodge the event. I think I'm going to do that, see if there's any effects, just to see how thorough this game is. I'm surprised it let me do that. And we're going to keep on our martial advances unless I see something else. I mean, we're making plenty of money. Import routes are important, though. Let's go down maybe one of these as well. Get some loyalty. And over here we could get more happiness. I'm not seeing actually I'm gonna take this one. I'm sure we'll have more food or good food modifiers anyway, but always could use more food. Might as well keep it balanced there. Somebody's imprisoned in this nation. So why don't we ransom for him? Oh, they won't let us. Okay, that's lame. They're a tributary. What if I canceled tribute? We're gonna wait. I've never done that before, but I canceled their tribute. I'm gonna wait until September 2nd, and then we're going to see if I can get a casus belli on them and go to war. Okay, here we go. So I need to do a covert action and fabricate a claim. That's gonna run for just a little bit. We're gonna use this to be able to take them out and just merge them. I think that's a quicker way to do it. The Cornelli family is also scorned, so we got to put someone in that family in office, while also keeping in mind the Fabi family, Cloudy family, and Semproni family. These are our popular families in Rome. This guy is not from any of those families, so we could scroll down and find someone from that family. I know it's kind of corrupt. This guy's pretty good at his job already, but oh gosh, I really don't want this guy. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go to military, raise all levies. Okay, so now we have those levies. We're also going to... Oh, I can't do a legion yet? Oh, that's lame. What I was going to do was I was going to put him in charge of a legion. Apparently, that's not going to work. So... we're going to move to Republican levy. Republican levy, changing our laws. I don't think we've done that yet, but that will actually help with our levy size. This guy is not happy, and we're going to bribe him. I don't know if that really helped much. We'll see what happens. We still got to give the Cornelli family its due. Okay, we can make friends with them. So if we do this, we're going to give him a tiger. I need to slow it down, get these innovations done. We're going martial advances, logistics division. That'll give us more supply. And the reason I conscripted our levies is because I'm gonna need them soon. Maybe not all of them. I shouldn't have raised them all, but it's fine. That will be enough. Those 15,000 that are on their way. Because as soon as this hits 100%, we're gonna declare war and we're gonna take them out, and then that will fix our character. That is actually that's not even an event up here anymore, a task. So maybe he got freed or died, but we're still gonna take him out just cause. Need to go to our offices and figure this out because I have a scorned family that I got to take care of. Fine, you can take that job. I mean, you're not going to be good at it, but it's fine. You're going to get more supply limit. So we just got 15% if you combine those two, off those two advances. That should help our supply greatly because these guys are already, pretty sure they're already over the supply limit. Publius Sempronius Sophus is the target of a brazenly outspoken critic who has been provoking his ire for some time. Okay, so basically we could make a small amount of progress towards befriending him. This guy loses some money, and we gain some tyranny, which we have 0 tyranny, so we're fine. Or no event. So we're gonna take his money. He loses some money, and it all works out. He is our consul. He's got plenty of money. Technically role-playing as the consul, I believe. So yeah, it actually was worth it to get those martial advances, because now we're up to 15,000 troops, and they all are supplied, whereas before that, they were not. So he's our friend now. He's still not a fan of us. We're going to pay... Okay, there's a lot. Abundant produce. Okay, we're going to we will shower the people of Rome with bread. and we actually reduced his power base because what I did right before that event was we rewarded the veterans that were loyal to him, and that is going to lower his power base just in case he does start a civil war. We're also going to bribe him as well, just to see if that actually helps this time, because it didn't really help last time, and that's starting to frustrate me. We are going to declare war. Okay, we're at war. We can go ahead and take this. Actually, we're gonna fight these guys first. Maybe not. They're actually on our side. My bad. So there's another nation that we are at war with. I gotta figure out who. They were called Thuria, and I gotta find them. I think there's a diplomacy map mode. It's 30. Is that really them? Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we just take out this guy and this guy, gobble them up, and that's the war, and we're still up to nearly 10k men, so we're gonna be fine. I think we want to increase our siege ability. That'll help us speed up our, obviously speed up our sieges. That'll make this a lot quicker over time. We're gonna let the looting be gentle because it's not really worth the fight. Somebody passed away. One of our naval commanders. And okay, so now we can assign some people to power here. Oh good, we won that battle. We're going to go ahead and give this guy power because he's from one of our scorned families. And this guy was our previous consul, but he got elected out because he can't be consul twice in a row. So he's going to be our tribunus militum. Only one in God of War, Mars. As you remember, Mars is the father of Romulus in mythology. So we should honor him, because that technically means he's the father of the nation if you think about it in that way. So while we are at war, this is a good time to do our quick history lesson here. So the Kingdom of Rome is where we left off. So basically we talked about Romulus and Remus last episode, and that was fun and exciting. But then after Romulus killed Remus, they founded the Kingdom of Rome, and Romulus was the first king. Basically how the kingdom worked, and this is all relatively mythical as well. The Republic's where things get a little bit more factual, but the kingdom is pretty mythical. But anyway, the king had absolute power over the people. The Senate was a weak oligarchy at the time. They were capable of minor administrative powers. And then the Senate's main function was to carry out the wishes of the king. So they were basically subject to the king. And I thought that was pretty cool because later on the Senate is the main power, it seems, until you get to the Empire. But in the Republic, the Senate has a lot of the control. Kings were elected by the people of Rome via curiate assembly. Again, this is mythical. There wasn't really anything found on how the succession of kings came. It's not like how you'll find in the medieval age where it's parent to son to grandson to great-grandson. It was by election, and it's a whole complex process. You can look up, curiate assembly, Roman kingdom to read a lot more. I'm not going to cover it here. But anyway, the king was granted imperium for life, which basically means imperium is a form of authority held by a citizen through a military or governmental entity. So basically they were granted authority, absolute authority over the nation state or city state. Using Imperium, the king was invested with supreme control of Rome's military, executive, and judicial branches, so they had full power. I guess we hit the siege. Oh, sweet. Okay, now we can end this war. That was quick, so we just take both of these guys. We're going to pass judgment on the important families. It's only right to do. A little break in our history lesson here. I don't like his stats. I don't like his stats. Oh my goodness. These guys' stats stink. We'll keep this guy just so we don't kill all of them. His stats are bad. His stats are okay. I'm gonna keep arrow posts and then have the rest crucified in a Roman triumph, I believe is how that works. And then we now own those lands. We still have, this guy is still disloyal to us at this point. I don't really mind. He was our consul at one point, I thought, and then we gave him governorship. Now he's just awful. We're gonna smear his reputation. I'm not very happy with him, so we're gonna just go ahead and do that. We're gonna bribe the other guy, because I think that'll work. Okay, so now that we're improving the opinion of these states, that will help us be able to integrate them. We're gonna go ahead and go to war with the Etruscans here. Going to push our 15,000 men up and go to war. And we do have a casus belli on them. They are in an alliance with this Boon nation, but I don't think we will have any problems else. With these guys already here, ooh, a celebration is in order. Messenger has been sent by the Oracle of Delphi herself. Apparently Apollo has seen good times coming for our country, particularly under the leadership of Lucius. Great announcement, we bring the news to our populace at large, spreading good words. We're gonna celebrate. And with that, why not? We're at war, so we go ahead and do carpet siege, so I think that'll be fine. And then we can have these guys. This guy can have citizen status. These guys can go ahead and do defend borders, just in case they push us. I'm gonna split them in half, actually. And with the 7,500, I'm gonna push them over here. The other group can stay on carpet siege for now, so we'll continue expanding throughout. We actually kicked their butt there. I think we got this from what I'm seeing so far. So basically, last thing I think I touched on was Imperium, if I remember right. So yeah, absolute monarchy, basically absolute control. If you think about it, there were 7 kings total, and the first king was Romulus, of course, as we learned. He was proclaimed king after murdering his brother Remus. And Romulus and Remus were the sons of Mars in mythology. So then, next was Numa. Numa was the second king. He was elected king by Curiate Assembly after Romulus' death, and he's also known historically as the king that would have set up a lot of the religious traditions in Rome, which I find very interesting. After his death, Tullius was elected king by Curiate Assembly, and that was shortly after Numa's death. And then Ancus was the son-in-law of Tullus and grandson of Numa, so he was related to the 2 previous kings. 5 years old at the time of Numa's death, elected king by Curiate Assembly after the death of Tullus. Then you have Lucius Tarquinius. After the death of Ancus, the previous king, Lucius became regent due to Ancus' son being too young, but he was soon elected king by Curiate Assembly. he was the first Etruscan king, and he was assassinated. So early on, it's theorized that maybe the Etruscans actually took over Rome for a brief time, and that's why there's a lot of the Roman traditions are actually ancient Etruscan traditions, and the Etruscan civilization had kind of fallen apart. Oh, I need to take control of these guys, actually. They are... Carpet Siege actually doesn't work as well as I thought it did. They just kind of wander on their own for some reason. Need to push these guys here. That'll be a good second spot. So we're doing some pretty good progress here on the war. But where I left off was Servius was the next king. He was the son-in-law of the previous king Lucius, who was assassinated. And Incus' son had him assassinated. Lucius Tarquinius Superbus was the son-in-law of Lucius Tarquinius, and he seized kingship after the assassination of Servius, which he and his wife helped orchestrate. So at this point, he had Romulus, then he had Numa, then he had Tullius, and then Incus, and then Lucius. And then Lucius was the first Etruscan king, but he got assassinated. And then Servius was assassinated, and then Tarquinius Superbus was in power. So those last few kings were actually being assassinated, which pretty interesting how the instability was, how unstable the kingdom was at that time for that many assassinations to be going on. We're trying to continue to expand here. If we take out the Etruscans. I just forced those guys into a battle. They'll probably lose. Yeah, that was not smart. Oh, nope, nope. Ah, shoot. I forced them both into a battle. They're probably going to lose. That's okay. So we're going to keep expanding up here. We're going to force these guys over here, actually, to help out. And then these guys can go here. Almost got these guys fully eliminated, and it seems that they are at war with... No, those are barbarians. They're getting attacked by barbarians too. That's a really good sign for us, and we have 13,000 men to contend with. Is that from... Oh my goodness. They're victorious somehow. They have 13,000 there. We gotta hold out. Oh shoot. I didn't know they were that powerful. Let's push forward north. We just got wrecked down here. Oh my goodness. Okay. I gotta be more careful with my actions because I didn't realize that they had 13,000 troops. So we're going to try to capitulate them as soon as possible. So basically, end of the story is the monarchy was overthrown, as you know. Lucius Junius Brutus was the first consul of the Roman Republic, and he led Roman military to expel his uncle and last king of Rome, which was Tarquinius Superbus. So there were 7 kings, and that's how that went on. Okay, they are coming. There's a group nearby. Oh, those are barbarians. Let's fight the barbarians. Oh my goodness, why did the barbarians come all the way down here? Okay, I need to slow this down. I'm getting wrecked. Okay, I need at least 10 war score to demand something though. So we need push these guys down to here again. And that'll be enough. I'm sure there's better ways I could have played this. I could have paid more attention to it. One thing. We'll give him the position. There's a scandal. None of our business. I don't care about internal affairs. Victorious is always a good sign. We kicked them out. We're gonna hold this down. try to take these surrounding states. What I really want is these 8,000 to hold it down, and then we'll end the war once we take this position. Okay, so slow it down. We have a lot of things to do. The deity of war. We need a new governor. We have some scorned families as well. Temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus attracts travelers. At this point, we don't need money. I would like the manpower. We have taken all of that, and we're up to 51. Holy cow. So if we decide to hit the reset button. At this point, we would control all of that. We're just missing out on this middle part, and then what's across, which we won't get what's across. Am I greedy by wanting to push forward? I'm gonna push forward. Unless I see an absurd amount of troops. Actually, they're about... No, I'm gonna take care of it now. 2 for peace, that's it. Fast judgment on the important families as always. So Paulus has good religion stats. He's alright. He's not good. So we're gonna get Paulus and Publius, and then we're gonna have the other guy crucified. I believe that said we are a regional power now, which is exciting. All our Italic subjects will become allied to Phrygia and join them in war against us. This current combined strength is 15 cohorts compared to our 29. And we'll set up a governor up here as well. This guy has a greedy personality, so we're not going to pick him. This guy is still not happy with us. This guy's really not happy with us. Alright everyone, I decided this is where I want to end it for now. I think I know we're at war here, but that's a good place to kick it off for next episode. I just don't want the episode to get too long. And looking here, what we've done is we've expanded a little bit to the south and a lot to the north. The Etruscans are barely anything anymore, and I think it took a couple wars with the Etruscans to actually completely overtake their lands, so this will definitely help us increase our population and our strength. Seems like we have really good stats across the top of the screen here, and we're about to consolidate with all these guys once we end this war. So the Umbrians are probably next, and the Sabinians, and then of course down here by Apulia. So I will put our progress next to a picture of what Rome looked like at this time, and the year is 284 BCE, so we jumped up quite a bit here. So thanks for watching. Feel like this was a decent episode, good amount of progress, but feel free to comment what you enjoyed about it. If there's any audio issues or any questions you had, feel free to reach out in the comments as well, and hope you have a great day.